So, bundle of rays, I've worked most of my career in heart-lung transplants. There's two things that nurses really struggle to learn in healthcare. It's something called a bundle branch, which is on an ECG, and chest x-rays. So we're not sort of like a bundle of joy. This is like a deep, meaningful bundle of rays where we can take something that's really complex and use extended realities and AI to deliver simple education. And we can do that globally. So that's been my mission. So we've been on the Testing and Tech Paradise program with the council, and essentially we've been looking at what does the underwater submarine cable mean for the council, and how can we test and work with the council as a local business. Now, one of the key drivers here is that just last week we've closed India's largest higher education immersive learning program ever. So thanks. Again, I don't know how I did that, but hey, here we are. So on the 1st of September, I'll be in New Delhi to do a contract signing ceremony, just coincidentally with the Queensland Premier, standing there going through the process of having a local business doing something internationally. Outside of that, we're currently negotiating with the Sri Lankan government to look at a basic life support program that can roll across the nation. 40,000 nurses, 20,000 doctors. So some of these challenges are big, hard, real-world problems. But for some reason, it seems like we're having some success, which is amazing. And the team around me to be able to get to those hard problems really are the champions of where we are today. So I am just a guy with an idea, and I think the real important message for today is that I was a local nurse at the local hospital. I also taught at the local university as a nursing lecturer. Like, I'm a local clinician. I started the business. I actually seen Daryl here, who was on the accelerator with me 5 years ago out of the innovation centre at the university, when I literally just had an idea. You know, before nursing, I started as a sommelier. I studied wine. I have no idea about business. But to this day, after 5 years, I feel like I've done about 6 MBAs. So working on a pricing strategy, looking at an international plan, preparing for investment. You know, there's a lot to do for local companies to have a global reach. And it's easy for Google and NextDC to say, oh, global reach, there it is. Like, it's just not that easy, right? It takes an ecosystem of growth, market testing to get there. And there's been a toll to pay, just ask my wife. The next slide is based around, what does a cable even mean? So if you just consider me the lay person next to Google and NextDC, yeah, okay, we're going to have fast internet. The truth is, I did an accelerator program in Korea. I lived in Seoul for 4 months. Has anyone ever worked or lived in Korea? Yeah, you can catch the bus and get nearly 1 gigabyte of connectivity in public places. The internet's amazing. What does fast internet really mean? Like, for businesses in the council. So I looked up internationally, you know, where have other cables been and what has happened in those locations. Before we get to that, just because of the slides, you can see in the top left-hand corner there, that's me delivering a PhD program with Victoria University, where there's a person inside an ambulance going through advanced life support, which is quite a complex medical task. It's usually done in teams. And this particular patient's having a cardiac arrest, and they'll die very soon. And that person is going to work through, assess them, get the stethoscope. Once they go into cardiac arrest, they'll get the adrenaline, get the defibrillator, do all of the tasks that they would normally do. The difference here is that that person is in Wangaratta in regional Victoria, and I'm at home in my office with a cup of coffee. And that is the difference of what we're trying to do, based off Google Gemini, based off Vertex and cloud, is deliver remote, meaningful education at scale. And if anybody's been to Sky at the Sunshine Coast, which is a 4-story simulation centre, one of the most beautiful sim centres that I've seen globally, and I've worked a lot, is that physical places cost money. They have a postcode, there's walls, electricity, security, air conditioning. But now with extended realities and AI, we can deliver these trainings from these amazing centres, but to the world. And India, you know, they don't have a small population and a small market, so it's quite exciting for us to be leveraging that. So we have set out on a bit of a new frontier. We have worked a little bit in the K-12 space, but there's a gentleman here tonight, Dr. Chris Sara, that we're working towards something quite visionary. So if we're training nurses and we can do that at scale, we're in India. I've just finished an innovation fellowship with Ohio State University. So we've got a lot of tendrils that are coming out from this startup. But the truth is, if someone's in one location and someone else is in another location, Extended realities provide the new real estate. It's a place to go to. And then once you're in that real estate, AI is the work that can get done in that real estate. So much like Craig was just saying about these new technologies with AI, we just don't understand what the model of education is going to be in 10 or 15 years. And the work that we're going to do with Dr. Chris Sara and his team is show that by delivering a secondary school based on Indigenous children across Australia and teach them in their location with technology when they choose to engage with it. And providing these new fundamental pedagogical frameworks in K-12 and across healthcare. There's 29 million nurses in the world, there's 5 million schools and 80 million teachers. These are large markets that have real true meaning for society, and it's ridiculously exciting. So, does anyone know what the name of the plane is down the bottom? I'll buy you a beer afterwards. I think they're complimentary, but I got you. The plane down the bottom is the Kitty Hawk. That's the Wright brothers' first plane to ever fly. And obviously that's Neil Armstrong, yeah, walking on the moon. 57 years difference. 57 to 60 years difference from learning how to fly in a machine to standing on the moon. So if we start thinking about computation, quantum computers, we have no idea what's coming in the next 20 years. But the infrastructure and positioning to build off the infrastructure is the conversation, and I think why I'm in the room, is that I'm the industry. I'm the innovation economy that's going to come from the infrastructure. And I hope that everybody else in the room is in a similar position. So Brazil has got a cable, Nigeria's got a cable, and Portugal all have a cable within the last 5 years. And the resounding results, which have kind of been repeated by Anderson and Craig, are it's going to create jobs. And I literally nearly fell off my chair because I'm just a guy with an idea. I have no idea about cables. So Nigeria created 1.6 million indirect jobs. Portugal's total GDP went up nearly $1 billion Australian dollars just from this one cable. So when you start to think about what we're going to do here on the Sunshine Coast, the time is now. Like, I utterly agree with Craig. Whatever the council has done in the last 10 years to get us here, we should be so happy about that and ready to rock and roll. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. The key words: fast, connectivity. I can train nurses in India in real time with nearly no latency, 24/7, 7 days a week. That's amazing. That's a huge cost reduction in current teaching. Unmatched reliability. By having the cable, I know that I can have 50 or 100 people teaching everywhere around the world, all at the same time, all at once, without any data logs. That, as a business, is incredibly exciting to know that you have that security. The last thing is the global reach. I've been at 4 national events in nursing in the last 6 weeks. I've been a keynote speaker and on panels like this in the nursing industry. 400,000 nurses across Australia, and I promise you, nobody really has a grasp of what AI is or what it's going to do for the nursing industry. Everything is a fluff of, as Craig said, understanding how universities will use large language models for assessments, how hospitals will protect data, but nobody's on the front foot jumping into it and trying to get it done. And that's where we want to be on the Sunshine Coast, because that is the opportunity. Build the use cases. I'm going to play this video as the last piece. It goes for about a minute. We can even stop it halfway if it works. And I just want you to think about use cases, okay? This is what we're doing.
My mother speaks Mandarin, and I speak English, which is a strange thing.
他讲英文我可以听得懂，可是有时候我讲不来嘛。
We'd love to be able to share with you a new prototype we've been working on. You should be seeing what I'm saying, just transcribed for you in real time, kind of like subtitles for the world.
What we're working on is technology that enables us to break down language barriers, taking years of research in Google Translate and bringing that to classes.
You see me? Oh, sí, sí te veo. Oh,
I'm actually looking straight into your eyes, and it seems like you're looking right at me.
oh, sí, sí, estoy viendo lo que estás diciendo para ayudarte.
Making access to information just instant and intuitive. By doing that, technology fades into the background, and we're more connected with the people and the things around us. giving people the gift of communicating with anyone, no matter what language they speak, I think is a really powerful thing.
Que tengo que dialogar con muchas personas que solamente hablan inglés. Como magia para mí, porque voy a ver cosas que voy a entender lo que ellos dicen por completo y
所以可以互相沟通。我爱你。
Effectively, this is the new Google Glasses coming out in October. Bundle of Rays is on the Google for Startup program, and we have $100,000 US in Google credits, and we'll be working closely. I'm going to come down and have a coffee with Anderson in Sydney. But we're working very closely with Google. We're building an army of AI agents. And in October, these glasses are going to come out as a dev kit, which are basically a pair of thick Ray-Bans that have compute in them. We can put digital information into the real environment. So start to think about being in a rural location in Mount Isa or Quilpie, and you're trying to talk to people, or you can link in to someone in a metro centre. So the concept of your mobile phone is going to turn into your glasses, and we're going to be driving the use cases in healthcare and education around that. All right, I'm going to finish up because I'm getting hurried up, but I want to emphasise the fact that we've been a part of the collaborative project with Advanced Queensland, teaching nurses in Mount Isa, Quilpie, Charleville, and it's been ridiculously successful. We've now got this success going into India, and we have no apprehension about slowing down. So we're just raising some money at the moment. We were worth $1 million 2 years ago. We're worth 10 today, and the plan is to be worth $100 million in 3 to 4 years. And the truth is, we only have 3 sales in India, and we've done more than $1.5 million in business. So we're just starting the market there, let alone the UK, etc. So there's a lot to be done. We're always looking to partnership. And Ernest Shackleton's always been my inspiration. Optimism is the true moral courage. We have to fail. So you've got to go in, give it a go, be positive and try and make it work. And if it doesn't, you're going to learn and get better. And that's what we're hopefully trying to do as a startup to a scale up. Thanks, everyone.